Hey, crypto family. So today was not a good day for cryptocurrencies at all. It's probably one of the worst days we've had all year. And I know I haven't made videos in a couple weeks, but figured I'd have to jump on for this. And you can see Bitcoin right now is down over 11% to $5,627. And when we look at the chart soon, you'll see that it actually went to a low of about 52.31. So we'll have to see what exactly caused that. But you can see a lot of the altcoins are down even more. Some coins down 20-30%. And I mean, it's just crazy right now how much of a decline we had in a short amount of time. So looking at the chart here, you can see we have those strong support levels of 6,000 that's been holding for quite a while. But you can see once it broke through that, looking at the daily chart here, and then it attempted, to hold above 5,800. That was our next support line. It broke through that and then continued to break to new all-time lows for the year. And you can see that low that it hit of 52.31. And since then, it's found support at about 5,500. Now, this is going to be the level I'm going to be watching to see if we're going to have further breakdown. You can see the RSI. I mean, it's still way oversold right now. Probably the lowest it's been all year as well. And we're going to have to see if this can hold. But I know a lot of people weren't seeing this coming. I know a lot of people were thinking that we're going to keep consolidating around the 6,300 level and then probably test this 200-day about 6,800. But again, it's too bad to see that we did have this breakdown, but let's go over a couple reasons why it may have happened and then where we go from here and exactly, what the strategy is trading moving forward. So one of the big things is the Bitcoin Cash fork that's happening on November 15th. Now, this hard fork has been talked about for a couple weeks. Some people weren't too worried about it. They thought it was just going to be like other hard forks, but some people are thinking, it may have a bigger impact. And a lot of people are actually thinking that this hard fork was the reason for Bitcoin's decline. So you can see there's an article by Coin News. It says, will crypto miners abandon Craig Wright's Bitcoin Cash fork? And basically the article talks about, okay, either the economy, it's going to split in two, but the economy will support, XYZ, and reject Satoshi's vision, or Satoshi's vision will have low price and miners will leave it in a few weeks. And this is coming from the BitMEX's head of research, Jonathan Beer, who gave a statement to Bloomberg that, will determine if it's going to be true or false of how he thinks the Bitcoin Cash fork will play out. So there's a lot of different ways, depending, how the miners want to do it and exactly what's going to happen with this fork. But basically, there's just people are arguing, which way the Bitcoin Cash fork is going to go, whose vision it's going to take. And of course, there's all kinds of different opinions on that. And people think that it's going to divide the miners even more and cause more turmoil and volatility short term. Now, there's an article here, and it's by CNN Business. It says Bitcoin plunges below 6,000 to lowest level in more than a year. And in here, it actually does talk about... it says Bitcoin's plunge on Wednesday was driven in part by expectations that another major cryptocurrency, Bitcoin Cash, will split into two on Thursday, according to Marshall Hayner, founder of MetalPay, cryptocurrency payment service. It says, while Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are separate, such events can fuel uncertainty and lead to crazy volatility across crypto markets. So that's another article thinking, possibly this hard fork may have had an effect. And then also, there's an article by CNBC. It says crypto civil war slams Bitcoin, but it won't last, says BKCM's Brian Kelly. And he says Bitcoin tanked because of concern over a hard fork or effectively a software upgrade in Bitcoin Cash. Now, whether this was due to the upcoming Bitcoin Cash fork or not, it's hard to say. I really doubt that that was the sole reason for this drop. I'm sure a lot of people had stops in place around 6,000. Those stops are triggered, which continue the downfall. But to say it was specifically due to the Bitcoin Cash fork, I think it's very arrogant to say that. And I'm sure there are a lot of other factors in play. I'm sure there's a lot of manipulation here. And again, everyone's been saying that, we're going to get to that $5,000 Bitcoin. A lot of people have been saying that throughout the year. And I think we've seen it's pretty much come to fruition. Some people are even calling lower targets. Tone Vase has really stuck to his goal of, below 5,000, maybe even 3,000. But again, I think it's just, we're probably getting the capitulation phase now of Bitcoin and the market cycle. Hopefully, that's not it. But if it is, then, let's just get this over with so we can continue to the upside. And again, I think, too, a big part of this drop was because everyone was thinking that the holidays were coming and, okay, Bitcoin's going to go to 20,000 or it's going to have that sharp increase. But since that hasn't happened, it's kind of that dwindling confidence of, hey, we may not rise, towards year end like we have for the past 5 years. So again, I think that combination of stuff, there was a delay in the backed launching for the Bitcoin ETF. Again, that was delayed, I believe, until December 15th because they couldn't get regulatory approval. So there's a lot of things, maybe built up over time that have caused this. But I think really, it was just, the low volatility where, it's easy once you have a big buyer, big seller, it's easy to move the market. So again, I think that's a big thing what happened. And this Bitcoin Cash fork is just something to add fuel to the fire. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is Binance actually decided to perform a system upgrade on November 14th, today. And the thing that I want to point out is whenever exchanges have maintenance, upgrades or system maintenance, that means that basically the exchange pretty much shut down for that time. You can't withdraw or deposit anything, and it's kind of like in limbo while they're working on the exchange. Now, usually when this happens, there's big moves in the market. Whether that's manipulation, whether it's planned, it's hard to say. But I do find it funny that when Binance had maintenance on November 14th, that the timing of that was coincidental to say the least. But I know they were, working on the Bitcoin Cash fork. I believe they're dealing with some stuff with that. But again, for that timing to perform that maintenance and then this drop to happen soon after, I believe they completed the maintenance about, I want to say, right as Bitcoin was passing about 6,200 here. That's when the maintenance was complete and we started having this drop. But again, I think, a big part of that was coincidental, but it's just something to keep in mind. When exchanges have this maintenance, always make sure to set your stops. Just be ready because a lot of times anything can happen when a big exchange like Binance, Bittrex, even Polynex has maintenance. Maybe something big may be happening, some big swing, because that's, if I recall, that's happened the past couple of times. So just something to keep in mind as well. But again, I don't think this Bitcoin Cash fork was the only reason for the drop. I think it was just, some more FUD that was spread. But basically, when you're trading Bitcoin during these times, it's pretty hard to say if you should get in right now, especially since we haven't really had that bullish confirmation or that bullish reversal. This could very well be a dead cat bounce, and we could very well go to 5,000 or even lower. So, if you have some extra fiat, maybe get in. Maybe put half of it in at this entry, wait for another drop, and then put half in there. It's not financial advice, but just something I'm thinking if you want to get in at these low prices, or just wait to see this plays out and we get back above this 58 and 6,000 level, because these are very strong resistance now. So these are going to be the levels that we're going to have to pass again so that we can get back into this consolidation range and then get up to that 6,800 level, which was providing, some resistance before we had this drop. So just something to keep in mind when trading. And, again, always set your stops and always be ready for anything, because it's a very unpredictable market and you don't want to be caught on the wrong side. So with that, if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, thanks for watching.